what you can make? Keep your dough safe. That's only if you serious about these money issues. Do you wanna know how to make your money grow? Do you wanna know? New age money makers, you know it's in you. Make this paper. You know what it speaks to. Make your money grow. It's for the future. It's that simple.
Hele katlumba hesikali dumedisa ke Mampo, and thank you so much for joining me. In the previous lesson, we looked at the importance of budgeting in running a successful business. A budget is a tool that helps us plan for our income and expenses and make sure that money coming in matches money going out. That wasn't all, Johanna, or was it?
Hey mums, nope, budgets just weren't enough. We also learned the importance of keeping accurate records.
Absolutely. Accurate records are incredibly important for many different aspects of running a business. We also spoke about how the owner needs to know how much profit his business is making so that he can decide whether he's making a good return or not.
For sure, because say if you're making a return of 6% and you could be making a 8% interest from the bank, then that means that you should rather keep your money in the bank.
Exactly. And lastly, we looked at how VAT needs to be paid by all registered businesses and how important it was to keep accurate records so that we can calculate the VAT we should pay. Were there any other reasons for keeping accurate records?
Oh yes, we also need to keep accurate records so that we can compare our actual income and expenditure to that of our budgeted income and expenditure, right?
Absolutely right. It's called financial control, and it's one of the most important aspects of running a successful business. Do you remember the excellent example you came up with?
Of course I do. Let's say we have 100 Rand in our budget for fax paper, and then we spend 1,000 Rand. If we don't control our finances properly, then we're going to be in serious trouble.
That's right. Now let's take a look at your own budget, Joanna. Another name for a budget is cash flow forecast. Joanna runs her own vegetable delivery business. Do you want to give us the lowdown quickly?
I'd love to, Mampo. Basically, I buy the freshest fruit and vegetables from a wholesaler called Fresh For You. Then I repackage the fruit and vegetables into 10-kilogram packets and I deliver them door to door. Simple as that.
Great. Now you've entered into an agreement with your wholesaler to buy 40 bags in the first month and 70 bags in the following 2 months. All right, now let's take a closer look at your budget. The first thing that we notice is that the budget is divided into sections: the expected inflows and outflows of the business. So let's take a look at the first column. What can you tell us?
Well, I plan to start with capital of 1,000 Rand, 700 Rand of which I'm going to borrow from the bank. And then I predict that maybe I'll make 1,200 Rand from sales, which gives me a total income of 2,200 Rand for the first month.
Great, so that's your total inflow of money. What about your outflow? That will come under the second section of the budget.
Outflow, well, this would be all the payments I need to make. It would cover things like buying my fruit and vegetables, advertising, interest on loan, the repayment of my loan, and most importantly, my salary.
Great, and what does this add up to?
Well, after all my calculations, it comes to 708 Rand.
So how much money will be left over at the end of the month?
That's easy. We just need to subtract the money going out from the money coming in. That would be 2,200 Rand minus 708 Rand, which leaves us with 1,492 Rand.
Good work. Now this 1,492 Rand is the amount that we will start the second month with, okay?
Okay, so that means it gets carried over.
That's right. Now let's take a look at month 2. Now you're going to be buying 70 bags in month 2. So both your purchases and your sales are going to go up.
Sure, which means that my profits also need to go up, right?
Exactly. So how much money should you have by the end of the second and third months?
Okay, let me just take a look at my budget. Well, it looks like at the end of month 2,
I'm going to have 2,555 Rand.
And at the end of the third month, I should have
3,619 Rand.
Not bad for new business, eh, mums?
Not bad at all. Now let's take a closer look at what's actually happened. Remember how we said we need to keep accurate records so that we can compare how things actually worked to how we planned them? Well, Joanna's got a story to tell us.
Yep, well, you see, Mampo, things didn't go exactly as planned. I wanted to sell 40 bags in the first month, but then I only managed to sell 20 bags of fruit and vegetables. And the other 20 bags I donated to a local children's home, which obviously meant I didn't make as much money as I had planned.
I'm sorry to hear that, Joe, but I'm glad to see that your fruit and vegetables did not go to waste. So let's fill all this information in on the cash flow forecast. Because of not selling all the bags, your income was less. Instead of 1,200 Rand, you only got in 600 Rand.
Yep, it's sad, right?
This has affected your inflow of money, but take note that it has not affected your outflow of money. You got in less money, but you still had to spend the same amount of money. You did not make any money on the 20 bags you donated to charity, so we don't mention this on the cash flow forecast. So what happened in the second month?
Well, then I thought it was my advertising, so I went totally crazy. You should have seen me. I ran up and down to all my neighbors' homes, knocking on their doors, telling them about my services, putting adverts into their post boxes, all of it.
But then you had another problem in your second month, didn't you?
The truck drivers decided to go on a strike. And then the prices of my fruit and veggies went up. I had to pay 20 Rand a bag.
Which meant that your expenses for that month were quite a lot higher than you had budgeted for. You ended up paying 20 Rand a bag for 70 bags, or 1,400 Rand in total. How did you deal with the price increase?
I had no choice, Mampo. I had to increase my selling price to 40 Rand per bag. But at that price, I could only sell 30 bags, so I had to get rid of my fruit and veggies quickly so that they don't get rotten. So then I sold the other 40 bags at 3 Rand each. Ouch, that really hurt.
You see, Joe, business is never predictable. So in the second month, your income from sales was 1,400 Rand for the packets you sold at 40 Rand a bag, plus 120 Rand for the 40 packets you sold at 3 Rand a bag, which means your total income for the second month was 1,320 Rand.
I know it was terrible, mums, but you know what? I decided I'm not going to give up. So I increased my advertising budget to 40 Rand, but then it didn't stop there. The truck drivers were still on a strike, and then the petrol price increased too. So then the wholesalers decided to sell me the fruit and veggies at 25 Rand a bag.
Shame, Joe, what terrible luck you've had.
And then I tried selling the bags at 35 Rand each, but I only managed to sell 38 bags at that price, and then the other 32 bags I had to sell at 10 Rand each.
Sorry to hear that, hey? Well, let's do the calculations. So in your expenses, you had to pay 25 Rand a bag for 70 bags, which comes to 1,750 Rand. And then you sold 38 for 35 Rand, which equals 1,330 Rand, plus 32 bags at 10 Rand, which gave you a total income of 1,650 Rand.
Serious? But if I carry on like this, Mampo, I'm going to be flat broke.
This simply means that we will have to have another good look at your business. It might turn out that you will need to give up, or it might turn out that we can try and change things for the better.
I really hope that we can find something to fix this problem, Mampo. I mean, I've really worked hard and I don't want to give up now.
Even if your business does fail in the end, think of all that you have learned about the business world.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I can say. I've surely learned a lot.
I know it is difficult, Joe, but think of all the experience and knowledge that you will have for your next business venture.
Yeah, I suppose that's true because I know more about running a business now than I ever thought I'd know. Thanks so much for all your help, mums. Ciao, ciao.
That's all we had time for today. But to all our viewers out there at home, think of a cash flow statement that shows the budgeted and actual cash inflow for 3 months and make recommendations that Joanna could consider in planning for the next 3 months. We'll happy by Heso. Hi, Papatwe.